Assalamu alaikum students. Let's continue with the lesson the four realms of the earth. Let's recapitulate what we have learned in our previous class. We've learned that life on the earth is impossible without the presence of water, air, and soil. The environment of the earth is conductive for living things due to the interaction of the three realms or the domains, and these three realms or the domains are the land, we call it as lithosphere, water or hydrosphere, and air. These are the three realms of the earth. When these three realms they interact with each other, the fourth realm or the fourth domain is formed, and that is called as biosphere. After that, we learned about the first realm of the earth, that is the lithosphere. We live on the outer surface of the earth, and we have learned that the earth structure is concentric. The outer layer is called the crust, then we have the mantle, the inner the outer core and the inner core. This is the structure of the earth. The first layer is the crust. The land on the outermost layer of the earth, we can say. The uppermost layer of the lithosphere is known as the crust, and it is made up of two layers. One is Ciel and the other one is Sima. Then we have learned about the mantle and then the core. Now today let's learn about what is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere comprises of the oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, frozen water, then underground water and water vapors in the atmosphere. The hydrosphere is the total amount of water which is found on the earth. Water, it covers more than 70% of the earth's surface, and that is why earth is called the blue planet. You can see the percentage or the total water on the earth. 97% of the earth's water is saline water, which is in the oceans and you can say sea. Then 3% is the fresh water, which is found in ice caps, glaciers, groundwater and other. Now when the water keeps on changing from one form to another in a cyclic manner within the hydrosphere, and this endless series of changes undergone by water in the hydrosphere, which is between the sea, air and land, is known as hydrological cycle or the water cycle. Let's learn about the water cycle in detail. Means what is the process of water cycle. You can see the diagram. The water from oceans, seas and rivers, when it gets heated due to the sun rays, it becomes water vapors and rises up in the air through evaporation. This process is called as evaporation. The water vapor then cools and changes into minute water droplets. This is called as condensation. And these tiny droplets of water, they join together to form clouds. Then on cooling further, these tiny droplets in cloud become larger and fall as rains. This is known as precipitation. Now this precipitation, it also happens in the form of snow or hail. And this process of precipitation, it helps to maintain supply of fresh water on the earth. So the water cycle has three steps: evaporation, condensation, and then precipitation. Let's learn about the next sphere of the earth, or you can say next realm of the earth, that is atmosphere. Atmosphere of the earth is the layer of gas which is surrounding the planet earth, that is retained by earth's gravity, or we can say in simple language, the realm of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. And this particular layer which surrounds the earth, or the air that surrounds the earth, it remains bounded to the earth due to the force of earth's gravity. It extends for almost 10,000 kilometers above the surface of the earth, and as we go higher, the density of air keeps decreasing. That is why, as we go higher up in the mountains, we find difficult to breathe. And this particular air is a mixture of gases. You can see the composition of air in the atmosphere. 78% of the air, the composition of air has nitrogen, then oxygen is 20.9%, other gases are less than 0.17%, then argon is 0.90, and carbon dioxide is 0.03% in the atmosphere. Other than these gases, dust, pollen, salt, bacteria, and water vapors are also present in the air. Now let's learn about the layers of the atmosphere. The atmosphere, it can be divided into layers based on their characteristics of air at different levels. The first layer from the earth is the troposphere, then we have the stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere, and the last layer is the exosphere. Let's learn these layers in detail. The troposphere is the lowest layer and also the most related to the life on the earth. And this layer, it extends upward for about 8 kilometers to 16 kilometers, and this is the layer where most weather phenomena are noticed. The next layer is the stratosphere. It extends from about 50 kilometers above the troposphere and is important because of the ozone layer. This is the layer which protects us from the lethal or dangerous ultraviolet rays of the sun. Then we have the mesosphere. Mesosphere, it extends above the stratosphere and is where many meteors get burned as they enter the earth's atmosphere. In the mesosphere, means mesosphere is the layer where the meteors they burn when they enter the earth's atmosphere, and it is about, you can say, 85 kilometers above the stratosphere. Then we have the thermosphere. Thermosphere includes the ionosphere and it overlaps the mesosphere, and it continues to about 640 kilometers. After thermosphere, and you can say thermosphere or ionosphere, we have the exosphere, which is made up of extremely rare air, and it extends to about 10,000 kilometers above the thermosphere. Here, this is the layer where the space stations are located at its lower margin. Let's learn about the importance of the atmosphere. Atmosphere, it provides the necessary gases for living things to survive. Example, oxygen. It also regulates the heat from the sun to just the right temperature for life on the earth, and also protects us from the UV rays, and it also plays an important role in the water cycle. And the atmosphere, it protects the earth from small meteors, because when they enter the earth's atmosphere, or you can say the mesosphere, the meteors, they get burned. Now let's learn about the next realm of the earth, that is the biosphere. What is biosphere? We are going to learn. Biosphere is the interaction between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Means when these three layers, atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, they interact with each other, a new sphere is formed, and it is called as biosphere. Most life which is formed or found in these, it is near to the surface or land where it is surrounded by air, is on the biosphere. Now all forms of life, ranging from the tiniest microorganism to the largest plant and animal, which are found in these contact zone, they became their habitat. Means when they are found in the biosphere, this environment becomes their habitat. You can see on the screen, a habitat is the place in which an animal or a plant lives. A habitat provides the organism with shelter and food. There are lots of different habitats. Next is the ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with each other and their non-living environments. This particular thing is called as ecosystem. Means when the abiotic components or biotic components, they interact with each other, they form a ecosystem. You can see all living things, plants, animals, and bacteria, then plus non-living things, the sun, rock, and soil. When they come together, they form a ecosystem. Let's quickly recap what we have learned in our today's session. We learned about the four realms of the earth: lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. We have learned about these four realms of the earth in detail. Hope this lesson was easy for you. We'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.